Hey everybody, so today we're going to be taking a look at my favorite Elementalist build, or rather builds, because we're going to be showing off two builds in this video. One of them is going to be Weaver, and one of them is going to be Tempest. Both of these specializations are incredibly fun to play and have their own different situations in which I swap between. And yeah, so let's start off with probably my favorite one, which is the Weaver build. So for the gear here, and you know what? I need to get two separate gear sets, man, because one of them is, I mean, this one right here, I have Scrapper runes on because Elementalist, as you guys know, is very, very squishy. So I like, having Scrapper runes for this one mainly because we're going to be a lot of the times in melee range, and we're going to be having damage reduced by 7% within 600 units of the enemy, which is very, very close. We're pretty much always going to be within that range, so we're going to be receiving 7% less damage, and we still have a bit of power there, and, Elementals by itself does a lot of damage, so I don't have to worry about that. Marauder gear is the way to go here for me. I have all Marauder gear. You could probably do Marauder gear and then, like, Berserker Trinkets, or the other way around, if you really wanted to. And then we have a sword and a dagger here. You can also see. Here's the thing. If I know I'm going to go into range for like world bosses or meta events or whatever, I'll switch over to my Tempest build, and we'll go over that later. That's more for like group events and stuff. But you can put like a scepter, like a staff on here. But for me, all I really need is like a sword and a dagger, and I'm good. Oh wow! I actually forgot to put the strength rune on here. Wait, where did it go? What the fuck? I had a. Did I not put that on? Okay, whatever. We'll put that on later. Um, so basically, yeah, Marauder gear, and we get into the actual build here. It's literally a copy from Meta Battle. There's nothing here that I wanted to change at all. I'll be fully honest here. There's literally nothing I want to change. It's pretty much a perfect build for me personally. I don't think I've changed a single thing, yeah. So really just copy this and you'll do perfectly fine. I really like Master's Fortitude here. This is one of my favorite ones because you get a lot more health. Without it, you would be, it's like fucking 2,000 more health. So I really like that. And yeah. So for the skills here, Signet of the Restoration is probably my favorite heal skill because you're just going to be getting healing every single time you cast a spell, which is literally any attack. So whenever you attack, you'll heal yourself, which is super, super nice. I also really like Glyph of Elemental Harmony. So this is really cool because depending on what element you're in, it'll give you, a certain bonus. So if you need some swiftness, you could go into air, give yourself some swiftness. A lot of the times, I'm not really going to be using earth just because protection for 3 seconds is not really that worth it. If I need bonus healing, I can go into water and give myself, regen for a bit. And a lot of the times, I'm in like fire, so we're going to be giving ourselves might there. And I mean, I guess, yeah, I think these two are the only ones that I really like. I do like Wash the Pain Away on Tempest, but we'll go with that later. So this is basically just a stun break here, Arcane Shield. So we'll get a stun break, and then we'll also block 3 attacks, and I like that. It's pretty cool. Primordial Stance. This one is super, super nice. So depending on what element you're in, it'll do different effects. So a lot of the times I'm really going to want to do air because this is a very power focused build, and I believe we have a trait where we do like more damage against people who are vulnerable. I believe there's something like that. Or maybe that was on water. I think that might have been on water. Yeah. And yeah, it's just super, super nice. I like, going into that. And a lot of the times I am in like air because I just kind of like being in air. It's really cool looking. So, yeah, a lot of vulnerability there too. You're going to see we're going to be applying a lot of vulnerability on our target whenever we use this. But, I mean, also you can go into burning, but, I mean, or fire, but, I mean, that does such a little amount of damage. You're only ever going to really want to pop this when you're in air. I mean, I'm sure if you went with like a Condi-based build, this would be fucking a monster with the burning damage there, but, yeah. So we have this here. This one's super, super nice, so depending on what element we're in, it'll do different things. So we have a little firestorm here in the area, which I think it does 344 damage per, like, meteor it comes down or whatever. I'm not really entirely sure how that works, but I usually just like popping Lightning Storm. and it'll, you know, do like mass vulnerability, and it's just super, super nice, and it looks really cool too. But you could also do it on water for some chill if you really want to do that. It's not really that worth it, but you could do that. You could do it on Earth for AoE blind. This could be very, very good for like big time, you know, blindness. As it says, this is gonna be great for defensive utility, and it's just super, super nice. And our last one is going to be Glyph of Elementals. Whenever I go into like a world boss or something, I'll switch over to Fiery Greatsword because that's something a lot of allies can use. And or can allies use this? I kind of forget if they can. I don't fucking know. It's just really, really fun. I like using the Fiery Greatsword. It's just super, super fun to use. It's a ranged weapon as well. And yeah, it's really, really fun. Now, another thing that's really, really cool about these glyphs is that they'll do different things depending on what element you're in. So basically, the Earth Elemental will deal damage and it's hard to kill. I believe also you can apply protection to yourself whenever you activate this in Earth. We have Air here, which will deal damage and stuns. So what it means, I don't think the auto attacks on its stun. I think you actually have to click the little skill after this that precedes the glyph skill in order to stun an enemy. And then we have water, which will heal people. So if you need some heals, that'd be, you know, a great option there. And then you have just straight up damage dealing on Glyph of Elementals here. So if I need like some CC, I think this is a great option right here to go into air and then use that. And then if I just want straight up damage, fire is great. And if I want to have, you know, some healing in, I could switch to water and do it. I almost never do it on Earth, even though the Earth one looks really cool. But yeah. So for this guy, I mean, obviously there's no like blue bar at all, so we're not gonna bother with that. So you know, I kind of just it's kind of like a spammy sort of setup. So you know, let's go ahead and get this guy in here. And so we'll go in here. We'll use our thing there. Oh, actually, no, I was supposed to do that on lightning. Okay. So we have that little dual attack there, which will give us swiftness, and we'll deal more damage while we have swiftness. So this is great for CC. So it'll like knock us back, and then it'll launch foes. So as you can see, that's really, really cool. And then we can go right back in here with that. We'll use our dual attack there. We'll go back into lightning. We'll use the other skills. This is cool. We've got a little cone attack there. Because we're in lightning, we'll activate our stance. And so now we're going to be doing a lot of vulnerability. As you can see, we're doing a lot of vulnerability there. We got our Glyph of Storms back, so we'll use that on him. Even more vulnerability. Got a little AoE thing there. Go back in here. This is a great teleport ability right here. So Dagger 4 on air is fantastic. And you'll see just how long range this is. This is 1200 range. So I go all the way back here. And then I'll just basically teleport straight to that guy. And it looks really cool. It's really, really badass. And I just really like it. I really like that launch there. Oh, I shouldn't have applied it with that one. We also have a teleport on Sword 2. It's like a combo finisher as well for Leap, and it's a 600 range. So you could set up a combo here. So you can go combo Field Fire on Ring of Fire, and then you can also go into Polaric Leap, and it's really cool there. And so that'll actually daze him, I believe that was. And yeah, so since we're on air, we'll activate our stance, and we're going to get an insane vulnerability now. And it's just super, super nice, and we'll use that just for some extra damage there. And we'll go back into air, activate our stance again. And so we'll use our dual attack, we'll go back, you know, in the full air, we'll use our 3 attack. This one does a lot of damage and quite a bit of vulnerability. And it's super, super nice. And so we'll use our stance, we'll activate our Glyph of Storms. I need some healing, right? I need some healing, so we'll go in here. Well, I don't need any healing, it's just, you know, situational thing. So our auto attack is going to heal us. And then we also have this attack, which will launch us back and give us a regen. And so this attack will give us barrier, but just for the sake of things, we'll go here. And then this, we can activate this to get a heal. We can do this and cure conditions. We can do this and also give ourselves some healing, and we'll actually give regen to allied targets as well. And yeah, we got this again. So I need some CC. Let's say I need some CC, right? So we have, what is it? Okay, none of these attacks do CC here, but if we go into Earth again, I remember we have this. So we have a little knockback here, and I think that's all we have, right, for Earth? Yeah. But, you know, as I said, we do have, oh, wrong one, shit. We have Dagger 5 for, and then we could also do this here, and we could have that stun effect right there on a 15-second cooldown. which is super, super nice. So we have Dagger 5 there on air, which will do the knockback. We have a little teleport here. We have that attack, which does a fucking shitload of damage. And so we'll go back into air, apply that. We'll use our stance, we'll stun him again. Get that in there. Get the little combo effect. And so as you can see, it has a pretty complicated rotation, but once you get used to it, it could be a lot of fun for sure. It could be very, very fun, and I really enjoy using that. So let's go ahead and switch on over to our Tempest build now, and I'll show you guys what the Tempest build looks like. So we're going to be using a staff for this one. I love the staff. The staff is really, really fun. You can also use a scepter and like a dagger or like a... Oh, motherfucker. You can do a scepter and a warhorn, which is really, really nice. And I really like the warhorn. But my favorite one's definitely the staff. I really like the staff. And, yeah. So, once again, this is pretty much just a copy from the meta battle one, man. I don't really have anything here that I'm like... You know, I don't even have Tempest fully upgraded, as you can see. But, yeah. You get a free stun break here, which is always a super, super nice thing. This one's a must. So, you'll get stability for like 4.5 seconds there whenever you're in doing your overload attack, which is super, super nice. And so you can also go fresh air if you want to. I don't really like fresh air for this one, but yeah, it's cool. And yeah, it's just generally just kind of straightforward perks there. It's basically the same skills here. We just have Signet of Fire here, which is crit chance. And that's pretty much, I mean, it's the same sort of thing going on here. So you're going to be using like air and shit like that. A lot of the times we're going to be camping on in fire because the fire skills do a lot of damage. And, you know, this one's typically more power-based than the other ones. So, a very powerful AoE attack is Meteor Shower. This thing is absolutely incredible. And it's an AoE attack. It's not really that good for single target, but it is very much an AoE attack. Oh, wow, wrong one. Okay, so we'll do that. And as you can see, we have an Overload Air. This one is super, super nice. It does a lot of damage. This is generally more like AoE focus as a build. We have a knockback here, which is super, super nice. If we need like swiftness for our, for some friendlies, we could do this one. This one's also super, super nice as a stun, so good CC there. On Earth, we have a little projectile hate ability there. We have Unsteady Ground, which is kind of nice for, you know, blocking off people. But generally, there's like no CC here, pretty much at all. And so go back into fire. And was there CC for water? I kind of forget. So for the healing, you get a lot of healing on this one, actually. So you go right here, which will give regen to a shitload of people. We have this one, which will heal you. And then we could use the overload for water and heal ourselves and allies as well. And so we go back into fire here. And so let's get this guy out. And so let's go back in here. Use our little skill there. And then we'll use our overload air. Like I said, guys, this is not a single target focused build. This is very much heavy AoE damage, which is definitely what this build excels at for sure. And it's also really, really fun. I mean, using the staff as a wizard, like, that's really badass and really, really fun. And I really fucking like it. And so we have our overload fire here, which will do a bit of damage. We have our 4 here, which we can go ahead and, you know, launch back. And we'll go back in here again to use our air attack. Overload air. This guy's getting launched all over the place, dude. Yeah. So it's much more simple than the Weaver one, for sure. I find the Weaver to be a lot better, but this one I like using for just general, you know, attacks and stuff. Like general, like open world stuff. And then I'll, you know, switch over to Weaver whenever I want to use Weaver. And yeah. So I think those are pretty much the builds, man. They're really, really fun. You can, like I said, you can also use a, you know, we'll go and just put this on real quick. A scepter and a warhorn is a great one to go with, or a dagger and a warhorn is also great. So, you know, we have some pretty good lightning skills here. So we have, you know, a little bit of a blind there. You got a pull right here as well. And then you have some pretty good vulnerability right there. And fire. Typically, I don't really like being in fire because this is a very, very, like, Condi based, as you can see. So I kind of just prefer being in air on this build. But you do have a couple of warhorn skills here that are super, super nice. So heat sink is great because you can just get a lot of might there. And then you have this one, which is kind of like whatever. But then you have the air attunement. The air attunement is really good on here. So, like I said, we have a pull right there, which this thing looks really, really cool, and it does quite a bit of damage. And then we have this thing. This is the one that does a lot of damage. That one's cool. And then we have some ones here while we're in, just doing our straight up lightning auto attack. As you can see, it's basically just like a laser beam but does more damage over time. And you can apply this and this while you're in there. And we got this little thing right here. We got this. We can go into fire, give ourselves some might. And since we're in here and we're on a little timer there, we might as well lay down these attacks, you know. Yeah, okay, there we go. And we got our little overload here. Let's pop this one more time. We'll go back into air. And we'll pop these. And yeah, it is definitely heavier on single target damage. So if you want to use Tempest and go, you know, like a heavier damage setup, Scepter and Warhorn is a really, really nice option, as well as Dagger and Warhorn as well. I'm not going to go over Dagger right now, but yeah, this is a great setup overall for sure. I just kind of prefer Staff because it's just more badass to me, but this is definitely a really good option as well. And yeah, that's going to cover it, guys. Those are the builds. Personally, my favorite is definitely the Weaver because of the complexity to it, and it's really, really fun if you are able to pull it off. And I usually find the more complex classes a lot more fun in these kind of games. So yeah, that's going to cover it, guys. Elementalist. I finally did a fucking build for this one. You know, what the hell's going on with my mouse? The fuck? Yeah, I'm excited I finally did a build, though. So we got that one out of the way. I think in the future I'll definitely do a Mesmer build, probably with Virtuoso. I will be doing a lot of builds once the Elite Spec betas come out, so keep on watch for that, because the Elite Spec betas are going to be really, really fun. And yeah, peace.